Let's look at the fourth question now. Which of the following statements is true? So you have to pick the right option. A scalar quantity is one that is conserved in a process. Is it right? No, I don't think so, because there are several quantities which are not scalars but still they are conserved. Like say for example momentum. Momentum is a vector but it is conserved. Conservation, law of conservation of momentum, you must have studied. So A option is not right. A scalar quantity is one that can never take negative values. No, this is also not possible, because work is a scalar but it can be negative, right? Now this is conserved. Work can be negative and it is a scalar, so B option is also wrong. Next, a scalar quantity is the one that does not vary from one point to another in space. No, this is also not true, because velocity is a vector. Speed is a scalar. Speed is a scalar and it can vary from one place to another place, so it can vary. This is also not true. D is a scalar quantity has the same value for observers with different orientations of the axis. If you change the orientation of axis, it will not change, because it does not have any direction, right? So no matter how you keep your axis, like x and y, let's say if you rotate this axis, then I don't think a scalar quantity which is there in this coordinate system will change. Okay, so the right option is D. D is the right option. Now the fifth question reads, the x and y components of a force acting at 30 degree to x axis are respectively. You have to tell the right answer. So this is the coordinate system again. Let's say this is x axis, this is y axis. There is a force which is acting at 30 degree to x axis. So this is the force F. This is 30 degree. What do you have to find out? X component and y component of it. How do you find out x component? You have to drop a perpendicular from the end point of F to the x axis. So this is your x component. Let's write it as Fx. Drop a perpendicular from that vector onto the y axis. That's your y component. Okay. So what is Fx and Fy? Since Fx is adjacent to this angle theta, you have to use a quantity corresponding to the adjacent side. So the component corresponding to adjacent side, or the quantity is cos theta, right? So cos theta is equal to adjacent divided by hypotenuse, or you can write it as F, which is the magnitude of this force, into cos theta. What is theta? 30 degree. What is this equal to? What is cos 30? Root 3 by 2. Similarly, Fy is F sin theta. Okay, because this is opposite. You are taking opposite side. This side and this side are one and the same. So F sin theta, which is equal to F sin 30 degree, which is equal to F into 1 by 2. Okay, so Fx is root 3 F by 2, Fy is F by 2. So which could be the right option here? C is the right option. Sixth question. The component of a vector r along x axis will have maximum value if r is along positive y axis. Let's check what happens if r is along positive y axis. If it is along positive y axis, like this. Okay, so component of vector along x axis. So you have to find out component of vector along x axis, meaning you have to check what will be the length of the shadow in case you are shining a light from here, let's say. Okay, do you think you get any shadow over here? There is no length, so this will be 0. X component will be 0 when you keep it along positive y axis. What happens if you keep it along positive x-axis, it's like this. Okay, now don't you think the length of the shadow is maximum when you keep it along x-axis, right? Now this looks correct, but let us also check option C and option D as well. R makes an angle of 45 degree with x-axis. So if it is making 45 degrees, then let's check what happens. If you have to find out x component, you have to draw perpendicular onto the x-axis. Don't you think this is smaller than the previous one? This is bigger, right? So this is not possible. This is also not possible. R is along negative y-axis. Negative y-axis comes somewhere here. Okay. Then also the component along x-axis will be equal to 0. Okay. So this is also not right. So the best option you have here is option B.